In movies and money today, the Avengers are shattering box office records and rocking Wall Street. On Monday, shares of Disney touched a record high of $142, while IMAX stock and AMC also started the week with a rally. Movie man Erik Childress is standing by with more. Hello to you, Erik.
Hi, Angie.
You love this film, and just about every conceivable box office record was annihilated this past weekend by Avengers Endgame. What's the behind-the-scenes buzz?
Well, emotions are pretty high, Angie, clearly from the fans of the film and the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and certainly from Disney in their overall investment in this decades-long project, but also from those who are worried that this will become the norm rather than the artistic portion of the industry. A $357 million opening weekend left very little room for any other film to compete. Yes, Disney almost appears to have a monopoly on high-profile projects, but they have more than a few failures in recent years to show that not every swing is going to result in a hit. The bottom line is audiences have been waiting since Iron Man in 2008 for this series to pull all its resources together and provide them with a kind of once-in-a-generation event. They showed up, and because many of us believe the film is very good, they will show up again and again, and there are many more records to be broken.
Before we get to more on those numbers, anything new opening this weekend that audiences will want to see?
There is, Angie. It's a film we previewed here a little over a month ago from South by Southwest, and it's terrific counter-programming to what is likely to be another dominant weekend by the Avengers. It's called Long Shot, with Charlize Theron playing the Secretary of State who is in the midst of an opportunity to run for president, crosses paths with a political journalist that she actually used to babysit. He's played by Seth Rogen, and of course he had a crush on her as a kid, and when she hires him to help punch up her speeches, their friendship turns into something more.
Secretary Field would like to speak with you.
With me?
I can't shake this feeling that we know each other.
We do.
We do?
Picture me, I guess, maybe like 20 years younger, but like this.
Blarsky?
Yeah!
It may seem like a very formulaic, if ridiculously high-concept rom-com, but it's much better than that. For one, you have Seth Rogen, who has maintained a consistency and quality with his projects, at least according to me, that immediately elevates this into a really funny film. Then on top of that, Theron is also really good here, and the chemistry between the seemingly mismatched love interest is legitimate and creates a real rooting interest in the efforts to keep them apart. So unless you plan to see Avengers again, your only other new options are The Intruder.
My great-great-grandfather built this house. It's the only house I ever lived in.
I put my soul into it.
Foxglove is yours now.
We'll take good care of her.
The Intruder, a thriller starring Dennis Quaid and what is virtually the opposite of a film he did, Cold Creek Manor, at least in the role he plays, as the attached former owner of a house terrorizing the new owners. And Ugly Dolls, an animated film based on a line of plush toys that brings STX Films into the animation realm. My advice, take a chance on Long Shot this weekend.
So the big question is, will Avengers Endgame once again be #1 at the box office? What are the numbers to watch?
Well, there are two big numbers that all the box office watchers will be looking ahead to. $936 million, which is what Star Wars The Force Awakens made domestically, and the $2.78 billion made by James Cameron's Avatar worldwide. Now, those are both lofty goals, but with the weekend ending at $357 million domestic and $1.2 billion worldwide, Endgame has a pretty solid head start. Now, The Force Awakens owns most of the domestic records going forward. For starters, we'll see just how far over Endgame is of the $540 million that Force Awakens had in its first 10 days. Is Avengers going to best its all-time second weekend with $149 million? It will, as long as it posts a drop less than 58%, which I believe is very possible. To put some further perspective on how fast the money now moves with event films like Endgame, it took 59 days for Avatar to pass Titanic's 12-year record back in 2009. It took The Force Awakens just 20 days to pass Avatar in 2015. And Endgame could actually pass Titanic's initial run of $600 million in just 10 days, and if it does that, every record going forward is going to be on very shaky ground.
Thank you so much, Erik. There's a lot going on here. Thanks again.
Thank you, Angie.
Check out businessfirstam.com to find out where to see our entire show. And don't forget to like, follow, and share Business First AM.